Maybe you're not persuaded, though. Maybe you think that we should regulate these weapons more strictly, even if they're not statistically the weapon of choice for most killings. Maybe they are a more dangerous weapon of choice. Whatever your reasoning. The trouble with that is there's no reason to believe that they're going to stop there, because they won't. Biden spoke with an MSNBC reporter on Monday, and he said there's no rational basis to have 9mm rounds because they blow the lungs out of people, saying he knows because he once talked to a trauma doctor who told him.
I said, why are they dying? And they showed me a x-ray. He said a .22 caliber bullet will lodge in the lung, and we can probably get it out, may be able to get it and save the life. A 9mm bullet blows the lung out of the body. So the idea of these high caliber weapons there's simply no rational basis for it in terms of what is about self-protection, hunting.
Okay.
That audio made me want to kill myself.
It's a little rough. I did the best I could. I tried to.
Oh, it's not your fault. No.
Isolate his voice a little bit, but yeah, the aircraft makes it hard.
So the appeal to experts, eh?
Yeah, quite the expert. Point of fact, the standard AR round is a .22 caliber round, just very high velocity. But if 9mm is a high caliber round with no rational basis, there is no such thing as a normal caliber round with a rational basis. 9mm is the single most popular self-defense round in the country. We're talking about the Glock 19, one of the most commonly used guns out there. We're talking about, say, SIG's P320 or the P365, two of the most popularly sold guns in the country, 9mm handguns. Now, Jen Pawlacki clarified that the president does not support a ban on all handguns when she was asked about this. But a ban on 9mm ammo would effectively be that. What use? You have a nice, polymer and metal club if you don't have 9mm to feed your Glock or to feed your SIG. So
yeah.
If we start doing away with 9mm ammo because it has no rational basis, effectively you are talking about a handgun ban at that point. And even if you think what Biden is saying sounds good, understand he's openly saying that the most common self-defense tools in the country should be off the table. That's not respect for your rights. That's not respect for the Constitution. That's not respect for the case law that he cited, which indeed protects commonly used firearms or firearms in common use.
Yep.
It's not respect for you as an individual with rights. He's talking about making you helpless before an attacker. And just in case you think such things wouldn't be the next automatic step if they were to succeed in the approach they're taking now, look north. I didn't even know how to handle this headline in this video clip from Justin Trudeau because I thought he has to be taught. What he's saying can't be correct, but it is correct as far as I understand.
Are you serious? Because I heard it and I was like, they didn't do this already?
You were shocked to believe that Canadians were allowed to have handguns.
Yeah, I actually had no idea. And then this made me realize how little I know about Canadian government. Because the way that he announced this, I was like, was this some kind of executive order? Do they have executive orders in Canada? And I was like, I don't know fuck all about that.
Yeah, it came off that way to me too. I didn't understand. Yeah. Was he saying this is something that is in effect now or something that will be? But
it's legislation that's sure to pass this fall is what it sounds like. Are we playing a clip for this?
I do have the clip of him, yeah. You want me to play that first?
Let's do that first so I don't repeat anything that he said.
Here's Justin Trudeau describing a handgun freeze in Canada.
We're introducing legislation to implement a national freeze on handgun ownership. What this means is that it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada. In other words, we're capping the market for handguns. And will require the permanent alteration of long gun magazines so they can never hold more than 5 rounds. These are actions that doctors, experts, and chiefs of police have been calling for years.
Okay.
Oh, the other more appeal to experts. Did you see that masked Muslim lady in the back who was like nodding obsequiously? This is peak globo homo stuff. a bunch of masked people, like actual
which one is she?
NPCs.
Oh, yeah, like right side. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they are. I mean, they are legitimately NPCs. You're right. But I remember that the one guy right behind him, the bald guy, for his discussion. I think he's like their attorney general, basically. I remember him from talking about freezing people's bank accounts during the
trucker thing.
The honkening. Yeah.
Okay, so what has changed? They've increased maximum criminal penalties for owning a gun. They're providing more resources to law enforcement, which is obviously going to be tax funded, and people don't really have much of a say about it. And this is not a particularly popular thing in Canada. You think it would have widespread support? It really doesn't. He said permanent alteration of long gun magazines so they can never hold more than 5 rounds. People will find a way to adapt there.
Permanent alteration. I bet it's very permanent. I bet you couldn't just take out the stopper that's in there, since these are just basic pieces of plastic and metal. I'm sure it's impossible.
And Stephen Paddock, didn't he have some limited round guns that he was just able to
I don't remember what he did. I mean, he got off so many rounds. Did he use belt feed, or what did I don't remember exactly.
Did he use belt?
He might have.
Isn't there a way? I don't know anything about guns. I sound like a retard. But isn't there a way to like do it really fast, to load the gun really fast? Like there's a device.
No, not necessarily. Like if you had a standard AR,
yeah,
you might be able to. There's a few things you could do. You could just spend the 30 round mag and reload it. Maybe you have a drum mag that might hold up to 100 or so rounds. I don't know. Maybe he had that. Or there's belt fit. When you think of like a machine gun with a long belt of ammunition,
like Rambo.
Yeah, sure. There's that as well. But even that runs into it's a little bit outside my area of understanding because I don't have any belt fed weaponry. But as far as I understand, belt feeding does not run into issues with magazine restrictions because there's technically no magazine. It's just a belt feeding it, even if the belt is feeding a lot of ammo. I might be wrong on that, though. Don't quote me.
But surely even a layman could alter these permanently altered guns so that they could take an increased
That's why I laugh at
ammo.
the language of permanent alteration. Yeah, I'm sure the Buffalo Shooter's weapon was permanently altered, too. Guess what he did? He went to Home Depot and got a drill to take that bullshit off of it.
Yeah, really.
And then he was done.
And then they've increased the Mounties' capacity to intercept guns coming across the border. So they've doubled the amount this year that they've intercepted from the previous year. And of course, this is also tax funded. So basically, they're just being super lame. But I mean, does this really change things that much? How hard was it to get a gun in Canada before? I don't even know. I just assumed it was very, very difficult. Lauren Southern does have a bunch
as I'll get to it, because Canada imports so many of its handguns. I mean, first of all, like the block on new purchases is going to be hugely consequential regardless of where they're produced. But because I guess Canada imports so many of these, it does sound like it's going to be awfully difficult. I'm sure it was more difficult than it needed to be to get a handgun in Canada already. But the restriction that's coming, if I understand correctly, sounds fairly significant. And that's why, as I'll get to in a moment, people are buying them up. People are buying up the handguns.